Married couples who sleep in separate rooms, why do you do this? Girlfriend's parents do this. They both snore and do it to get away from each other's snoring. I didn't think it was that bad until they talked about having to sleep in the same bed during their trip in Europe. They were at each other's throats because if one fell asleep, the other couldn't. During the summer I moved to another room we call the wind tunnel. Basically I have a ceiling fan going almost 24/7 and a window fan above the bed I run from 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. She has allergies and easily gets runny nose and sneezes from any moving air. My body temp will skyrocket and I'll sweat like crazy in a room devoid of moving air. So she sleeps in a stuffy no air movement master bedroom and I sleep soundly in the wind tunnel. During the winter I move back, cause then I become the ultimate body warmer for her. My stepmother's parents took this to a new level. He built a second house next door. They lived next to each other for 20 years before they both passed in a short amount of time. It seemed very odd to me, but it worked for them. At least from an outside perspective. I know images never reflect reality. We're both 41. Been married 23 years and sleep in different beds. First half of our marriage we always slept in the same bed. Of course there was the occasional crying kid who wanted mommy to sleep with them. Or falling asleep on the couch or somewhere else. About 10 years ago I spent a year working a midnight shift, so I started sleep on our spare bed in the basement. We both realized we had much better sleep separate in our own beds. After I went back to a day shift we went back to sleeping in the same bed and soon realized sleeping apart was more restful. Over time we bought 2 full-size beds and put them in our bedroom, like the old TV shows. It's been great. Spouse snores. 2 60-pound dogs. And a queen-size bed. No room for me and I need dead silence. My parents slept in separate beds as did my great-grandparents. For my great-grandparents it was a comfort thing. Grandma didn't like not being able to move around the bed at will. She and Grandpa loved each other dearly and she passed not long after he did because she missed him so much. For my parents it was a couple things. As my dad aged his sleep cycle went weird. He would be able to sleep a couple hours and then be up half the night and fall asleep again about the time my mom was getting up for work. Also my mom has sleep apnea and uses a CPAP. It made hella noise back then. Dad was half deaf and the sound still bothered him. Out of respect for each other they decided it was better to have separate bedrooms. My wife has MS. One of the primary issues she has is vertigo. When I'm in the bed with her, the motion of my breathing/heartbeat/movement really ducks with her vertigo while she sleeps. Also, I snore. So an isolated coil mattress wouldn't quite do it. They aren't total isolation either. You feel movement, or 2 beds in one room. Also, honestly, it spices up the sex life. Adds an element of pursuit and some illicit atmosphere to it. We're sneaking around the house to each other's beds to bang. We blended 2 households. His bedroom was fully furnished and the furniture and closet were full. It made sense for my stuff to go in a different bedroom. We started out sleeping in one room or the other, but I realized pretty quickly that if I ever wanted to get a full night's sleep, it wasn't going to be in the same bed with him. I've been known to call him a sweating, snoring, slant sleeping sonophovich after a night of his sweating, snoring, and slant sleeping. We do a your place or mine thing for non-sleeping activities, but GTFO when it's sleepy time. LOL. I do this. I am an absolute terrible person to share a bed with. I snore like a passing semi-truck and apparently, I'm told, flail wildly in my sleep. When we first got married I kept waking up to an empty bed. She would join me for an hour until I was asleep. Then retreat to the couch. After a week or 2 I got fed up and just went to the couch first. Then started several months of us trading off for the couch. Eventually I just went and bought a twin mattress and tossed it in the office. That became my bed. And when we got a bigger house, I just set up in a separate room. Friends of mine do this. She doesn't like him and feels he's a terrible husband and father. He won't divorce her because it'll cost him his standing in the church, which is the only level of social prestige he has. He's verbally abusive, and initially she did it as a wake-up call to encourage him to nicen up. It's going on its 4th year. Not separate rooms, but a king bed and separate blankets. We sleep way better. I am a notorious blanket hog and he's always hot when he sleeps. Then we can be close when we want to and separate when we need a good sleep. She wants to sleep in the same room as our newborn baby to be close to him / take better care of him at night. I want to get enough sleep to function at my job. My grandparents do this. My grandfather built a small apartment on the 2nd floor of their house. They do it because they have different sleep schedules, and in general they spend much of the day apart because they like it that way. But they always eat lunch and dinner together. And my grandfather loves to listen to her soft footsteps throughout the day. He calls her the woman next door. It's really cute. Sleep cycles and she violently tosses around. I've been asked by my commander if I got into a fight when I showed up to duty with a black eye. Okay. Look. I didn't mean to punch him in the face. Or kick him in the stomach. He just kept encroaching on my 7/8 of the bed. To stay married? I would say seriously. But I am serious. Other reasons. 1. She's an only child. Never had to share. 2. I had a large family. Don't want to share anymore. 3. She likes a soft mattress. And I like a firm one. 4. We both snore. But at different points in the night. 5. Night farts, not going to assign blame. There's plenty enough to go around. 6. Her cats don't like to share a bed with my dog. I could go on. But these are the highlights. I snore. She snores. She also puts her arms across my face, which wakes me up and makes me irritated. I know an older couple that have separate rooms. From what I can tell, they're very much in love. And very clearly and openly affectionate with each other. Apparently her snoring is next level. Like, their dog starts barking if he's nearby. I have an aunt and uncle who do this. They are just hyper independent. Mostly fueled by her. So they eat dinner together but do pretty much everything else separately. The funny part is if I send out invites to something like a family reunion or dinner reservations during somewhere when we're already gathered, he'll say I'm coming. But you'll need to check with your aunt for her answer. It's certainly not how my relationship works. But they've been married for like 50 years, so I guess I don't have any reason to criticize their methods. I can't sleep very well. Sometimes I don't at all. And when I do, I toss and tumble. It's easier on everyone if I just sleep on my own schedule and in my own bed. Sleeping in separate rooms isn't a sign of a broken relationship. Different sleep cycles due to different work schedules. We are still madly in love and we both agreed to this. Because it's the best for both of us. My partner and I have completely separate bedrooms. We sleep over occasionally in each other's rooms. However, we both find we sleep exponentially better apart. He's a night owl and I'm an early bird. He needs total darkness. I want to wake up with the sun. He wants one sheet and one sheet only on him. I want 10 pounds of blankets. In addition, having a separate room allows me to decorate it however I want, have my own personal space, and keep it to the level of cleanliness I prefer. It makes me feel independent. People look at us sideways when I mention the separate rooms thing. But it's been a game changer. Major reason he snores. I'm a very light sleeper. Then factor in he sets his alarm to go off way too early. Then hit snooze for about an hour. I wake up before my alarm even goes off. If we didn't go to work it wouldn't bother me. We sleep in the same room. I sleep on a single-person futon under our bay window and he sleeps in the bed. I move around a lot when I am going to sleep and I am always worried that my movement will wake him up or keep him awake so I can't relax enough to sleep. Also, I use the entire comforter when I sleep. Before I got the futon I tried sleeping in another room and I hated it.